Hello, Aries. Welcome back to the channel. Aries, the Emperor here. I am back with another general reading for all of my Aries collective. If you guys are new here, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so that you'll be notified when I upload or go live. I hope everyone is doing amazing on today. Thank you so much for joining me, okay? If you'd like to connect with me, all of my information is in the description box located down below. As I am working to get personal readings out to you as well as your candle orders. All right, Aries, you read the title, okay? They should have never messed with you, okay? Literally. They should have minded their business. Most importantly, they should have just left you alone. Okay, so let's get into this read. Let's see what messages come out for you guys in the spread, okay? All right. I'm getting that I can't leave him alone. Got that Aries energy. That's what I want. Messages for Aries spirit. Aries collective. Cross watchers, you are welcome as well. All right, we have the Justice here and the Star. Okay, so something speaks to your resilience. And it's one that maybe you didn't even know that you had it in you. You know, the star energy is a lot of times we're able to look at others and see the beauty in them and just all of the amazing things that there are about them, you know, and even negative things. You know, it's easier to spot, you know, especially when you are in that aspect on the outside looking in. So with the star energy, it's like someone, you don't know just how grand someone looks at you or sees you, or you're just what they know what you've been through, they know what you've gotten through, they know what you're up ahead against, and they have more than enough faith in you. You know, this could be somebody ancestry wise rooting for you on the other side with this star energy, because you know that could also symbolize some type of guidance when lost. You know, this may be a moment for you to go out and talk to the stars. You know, or just, you know, stargaze, talk to the moon, or just a time for you to really tune in and see if there's a message for you. And oddly enough, you guys, let me just say, I watch tarot. You know, I'm into astrology and zodiac signs just like you guys are, and you know, I randomly read them, and very rarely do they resonate with me, you know, down to so much detail, you know. But this morning it was so emotional, you know, what I read, and just how it resonated with me. And it was very empowering to feel, I must say. And that's what that star energy is, the justice and the star. It's like, this isn't revenge, you know, this isn't about vengeance. This isn't putting focus on getting back to what you used to be. You know, what does that even mean anyways? Because we don't want to be anything that we were. We want to keep moving forward into something bigger and better that has growth connected to it, and not who, you know, you used to be. I get it. You know, I used to be this size in high school. I used to have muscles this size. I used to be able to bench press this. You know, I was the cornerback on the football team. You know, all that energy, all that is grand. You know what I'm saying? But take that mentality, take those muscles and that stamina and bring it into the future with you here, and what's trying to guide you and lead you, because you may still need some of those skills here up ahead. You know, I feel like this is what some of y'all could be feeling, you know, experiencing or going through. It's getting the energy. Water is cleansing. Like they baptize you, in church. It's like a rebirth when they do that. And also in spirituality, going to the waters is also where, there are readers who can actually read you a message through the water. People get their intuition heightens at the water. They get premonitions. Water is thought to be or looked at as a connection, a portal of some sort to the spiritual realm. A direct here. Is just think about different waters all over the world people travel to, especially what is it called, the Dead Sea. It's that natural salt, and you float in that water. People go and collect that salt, and put it on their skin, and because it's said to have such strong healing powers, right? This star energy is that, and you refueling, and redrawing your bath, and this time. Like I said, I feel like this is an energy where, baby, a lot of shit that you coming back for is personal. It always is, because you rule over self. You know what I mean? But you put a lot of people before you, and you let a lot of people walk ahead of you, because you'll catch up later, but this time, there is no catching up later. You're gathering your things, you're getting them together, you're preparing. Just like you take a bath or a shower in the morning, you're getting ready to get out there, and this time you're gonna be the first one out there. Sorry. All right. Yeah, you're gonna lead the way, all right. And they're gonna have to catch up later. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that's hindering you, it's going to have to wait. It's going to have to catch up later. And that's if it gets an opportunity to do that, or if they get an opportunity to do that. But justice will be served one way or another. Karma's gonna find you. It's gonna get somebody. But I feel like you way past that stage. You know what I mean? It almost took you out. You know what I mean? They could have just left you alone. A lot of the things that we have to heal through in our lives, if you look back, have been very unnecessary. But it's all right. They gonna know this time. And this time they are going to leave you alone, because the light gonna be so bright. They're not even even the shades that they put on is not even gonna deflect from the light that you dishing out. It's the energy. You don't have to feel guilty for feeling handsome, pretty, doing well. You're supposed to be 9 of Cups and out here. What do you mean? 3 of Wands, Sagittarius energy. You're supposed to. And when people really leave you alone, I feel like it's an energy, not only do they really see what you can do, but you really show yourself what you can do. And with you being such a tough critic on yourself, that in itself makes you a natural perfectionist, is what I'm getting from this as well. And I feel like in that, a lot of you guys haven't been able to perfect a lot of things, because people and a lot of things, they just won't leave you alone. They won't go away. Yeah. Can I get a break? It's like new phases just right here ready for you to snatch and grab, Aries. And you are, and you will. And I feel like these are spiritual-esque figures, that are making sure that this noise, this energy leaves you alone. Literally, 7 of Wands. Leaving you alone, putting up some type of barrier. Y'all could be doing this in real life. to get people, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, you know, honestly, you do have to block people sometimes because they won't leave you alone. They won't take no for an answer. You know, especially if you've had a long history with someone, it's hard to move on because a lot of your memories are with this individual, or a lot of your memories were at this potential place, you know, that you worked, or you lived, or, you know, just certain things. Like it has to be necessary, you know, especially for you, Aries. You know, a lot of us find a soft spot in people. We say a lot of times we don't want to be bothered and we want to be left alone. But as soon as we lay the law down, you tell, and I don't want to hear this because I know it's an Aries out here. Y'all feel like this. As soon as we lay the law down and we see that little puppy dog face, then we get to, well, was I that wrong? You know what I mean? And you know, you get to wanting to start rolling things back, and people pay attention to that. You know, but at the same time, you know, that's just how open of a person you are. You know, it's just like you refuse to let somebody down. You refuse to let somebody out. And that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? But let's make sure that you're not letting yourself down first. So don't feel bad about that Seven of Wands energy, and don't feel bad about exiting, leaving first, or not showing up. Saying no, like I said, having to block someone. Or having to directly tell them, you know, leave me alone. I need some space. Because if people let it build inside of you, oh, they're going to find out, you know, you going to let them know to get lost, and it may not be in the most nicest way. Okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles to come out. So the Seven of Pentacles is Taurus energy. The Seven of Wands was Leo energy. That's something like when you disappear, that's why people don't want to leave you alone. Because we leave you alone for too long. Look what you out here doing. That's not what people expect. But you got to be careful, you know, especially with people who enjoy isolation, people who enjoy their own company and are at peace. And, you know, within themselves like that. Those are very dangerous individuals. And I mean that in the most intelligent form, you know, especially if they're using their time wisely. You know, this is just people who are just so informative. And this could be very well, I feel like that I could be speaking to you. You know, you just very informative on things and on ways and on people, and, you know, and in tricks. And it's very simple, you know, at this point for a lot of you guys in life, you know, just to pass. I'll pass. You know what I mean? It's not hard for you to decide and to say that anymore. And I feel like, and even in that, that's empowerment. We live in a world full of yes man. And in that, there is no balance. You say yes too many times. Yes starts to turn into take. Five of Swords. I can't make this up. Aquarius energy. You have something. I don't care who it is, who you are, how much you have. You have something. When people see you, they see something that they can get out of, or that they want a part of. And could be, it may not feel that way to you, but in their minds, it's forceful. You know, it could be disguised in manipulation or love bombing. Or just, like I said, you know, people will come through with their traumas and they'll trauma bond with you, you know, and that alone, you know, especially like Five of Swords is somebody who's definitely unhealed. They're unhealed. They don't plan on healing. There's always going to be a conflict of some sort when it comes to this type of person. And especially, like I said, if they know that you don't want them or no longer want to be side by side with them, it's an energy where, that then starts to turn into some type of rival or some type of negative focus on you, negative focus on what you have, or what you may not have and you're working towards, what you just, kind of step foot into, or, kind of moving up, or, with the star energy, something healing from. The Five of Swords is someone who looks at those weaknesses and tries to use them in some type of weak victory, and a very short-lived victory. You know what I mean? Because this is the type of thing that will get you kicked out of an Aries life forever. And there is no going back to court and appealing it. You know what I mean? That's it. You Five of Swords out here. Okay? So you're not thinking about my side at all. You're not thinking about me at all. And if that's the way you feel, like I said, you could have just left me alone. You could have just left. They could have just left you where you was at. Somebody waste your time if they purchase services or anything like that, or you purchase services, they could have just left you alone. Oh. Okay, my bad, y'all. I had a phone call while I'm filming, so it kind of knocked, well, on my end, I don't know if you guys probably still saw me, but all right, it's okay. We're still filming, so let's keep going. All right, Aries. Messages for Aries, Spirit. Woo. Woo, woo, woo. And it's so weird. I feel this presence in front of me. I feel like there are an audience. There's imagine benches. I don't want to say wooden benches, but I just picture benches in front of me, boom on this side, boom on this side, and there's people sitting on them, right in front of me right now. There's people sitting on a bench filled up here and filled up here, and it's just I don't know, as I'm speaking, it's yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Yeah, keep going is what I feel like I have in front of me right now. Two of Cups energy. Yeah. Shedding light, agreeing. All right, let's keep going. Kind of goosebump worthy. Other messages, Spirit. It's just getting Aries. You definitely have a way. We have the Knight of Pentacles, Capricorn energy. This is an energy, is a lot of people are especially if you've separated, it's kind of like the energy I'm speaking on. It's energies where people, they say they would have waited for you, or they would have gone through and fought with you, but I really feel like this it's untrue. It's something speaking to, because the Wheel of Fortune wanted to come out, and with anything connected, the Wheel of Fortune connected to the Five of Swords, that's like you being given a cherry tree, and there's something defective, one of the seeds in there. So regardless of however you plant it, when it grows, it is going to be it's not going to be any good. You know what I mean? There's not going to be any positive out of this type of energy, because it has to do with a struggle, and especially power. And with Aries, it's important for you to have power. some way, shape, or form, some have power, even if it's something simple over the way you're going to wear your hair, or, the shoes, or the way you dress, whatever. Even if it is something as simple as that, you need to be able to feel that, that's a part of you, and it's definitely, power is something that is positive. It's when you abuse it is when it becomes a negative here. And I feel like this could be an energy that's speaking on it, like somebody that's negative anyways that should have left you alone. This could be a Capricorn. I feel like this is like an energy of somebody that they saw something, like they saw a way with you. And I feel like now they sit back and the grass definitely is and was not greener on the other side for someone here. And look, before I shuffle, the Lovers is what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck. So this may not apply to everyone, but it applies to someone. All right, we have the Queen of Swords, Gemini energy. Now, the Queen of Swords is an energy of, when someone's pushed you there, and you have to, like I say, when you have to speak up and end things, then please know you've had, Crosswatcher, you have had more than a few chances if this is a type of energy that Aries decides to express. Because that means the Aries has sat down and logically thought about this. So whatever comes after that is on you. All right. We got the King of Swords and the Six of Cups, which is Scorpio and Aquarius energy. This is somebody that you made them feel so good, and they may have no business trying to reach out to you right now. And they may have, this is somebody who definitely should have just left you alone. Two of Swords. Like I said, this is somebody that's wanting something back, a friendship back, wanting you to reconsider allowing them back in your lives in some way, shape, or form. Someone didn't take your distance, or that you would distance yourself. They didn't take it very seriously. Somebody is not enjoying being apart from you. They enjoy dealing with whatever it is that they call themselves that they couldn't take. I feel like they would definitely deal with that now more than anything. It's an energy, I feel like a lot of, I ain't gonna say a lot, but just take it how it resonates. It's like people feeling like, man, you are okay. You are logical. You are in your right mind. Seriously. Like, what? Are you serious? Eight of Pentacles. Like, are you serious? Do you know how hard you get up and you work day in and day out? You out here in this world just like them, and they looking at you like, wow. The nerve, Aries, the nerve. And then have the nerve to be mad because you have a brain and you're intelligent and you're raw and you're classy and you're demure, all at the same damn time. And you're hardworking and you're generous. And you done fell 100 times and you still get back up. Like I said, star energy, that's real resilience. And when you get done spanking them on their ass, they gonna wish they would have left you alone. Sorry, y'all. The cards keep flipping out all types of witcher ways. And I'm just trying to get one, maybe two, Spirit. Messages for Aries. One, maybe. Ooh. All right, we'll take the Four of Pentacles to come out, okay? Capricorn energy. Yeah, like I said here, they're going to wish. After you get done spanking their ass, they're going to wish they never mess with you. They're going to wish that they left you alone, that they didn't get in the way, that they didn't speak on you. The Moon. That they didn't speak on you to themselves or amongst others. And it's like, Aries, you don't walk around slinging fire and power and entitlement or whatever. You know what I mean? You somebody that you cloak your shit. You walk around in plain sight. Just as gifted as you want to be. I don't know why I'm getting this. You don't need to be, like I said, you walk around gifted. Meanwhile, they somewhere outside howling at the moon. While you Nine of Pentacles. Virgo energy. It's like, and then look at the lady in here. She resembles, the lady in the moon resembles the lady here in the garden in the Nine of Pentacles, right? So while you're literally connecting with the moon, your intuitions, your dreams, your desires, everything you deserve, you're literally in there. You know what I mean? And what they down here doing? Like savage dogs howling to the moon. Lost. Signal just bouncing everywhere. Getting absolutely nowhere. Might I add. It's what this moon and this Nine of Pentacles is. And this also is giving, like, Aries, this is something, baby, you couldn't even dream of. I've been getting that so strongly lately, you guys, like, and here it is right now connected. This is like a luxury lifestyle. This is, you could have been here a long time ago. You could have been, where you needed to be or on the right track here, but it's never too late, and you are never lost. You know what I mean here? And that's what the moon reminds you of, things you may have felt like you forgot or you lost in your sleep, in your dreams. Those are moments that why you think you dream about these things that happened back in 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? In your dreams, that's how you tap into that and you play that back. You know what I mean? And you pick up the messages, or if ancestors are trying to reach back from those moments or those years to you in this moment in your dreams, the shit get deep. So very well so, there could be some big changes, and I really do feel like it. And I'm going to keep speaking on it. I'm saying it. At least to start March 26th. You can count your bottom dollar. And I feel like, I don't know what reading it was that I did. It's probably been a few of them back, and I feel like I did quote that. But that's really what this is speaking on, and it's definitely through each moon cycle. I feel like it's gonna be I can't say which moon cycle. I mean, it could be some of you to come during a Virgo moon cycle is what this could be, or possibly a Capricorn moon cycle. But I'm definitely getting 326. And after that, Aries, ain't nobody even gonna want to sit with you. They're not gonna want to talk to you. They probably gonna be scared. 7 of Swords. They gonna be scared. They're not gonna know what to think, how to feel, if you trust them. You know what I mean? And probably no, you don't. But that's very valid. So I mean, this 7 of Swords energy is Mm, mm, mm. This could be a number of things somebody tried to get away with. This is the energy of somebody stealing, taking from you, and what they took, thinking they really had something, and really it maybe was just pawnable, or in your case, in the long run, laughable. With this Seven of Swords, this is just like a quick grab. This is just like somebody who definitely doesn't think the long game. This, like I said, I feel like with Aries, man, it's always thieves around you for sure. It's just like a lot of times people will look at you and feel, and this may not apply to everybody, but people will look at you and feel like, how can you be this carefree, or this nice, or this open, or this, like I said, this blessed. It's just the energy of things like you won't miss, the Aries won't miss this, or, you won't mind. It's just energies like that. And even if you don't, you know what I mean? There's more greed here than anything. And like I said, none of it is connected to you. It's all outside sources. It's all unwarranted expectations. Like, who asked for that? And what are you doing thinking you can take that, borrow that, steal that? Some of you guys are coming to so much self-realization, or on the brink of. With the Queen of Pentacles, I love this. Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles is definitely, that means what you are manifesting is traveling right up into those skies. Literally, Aries. Like I said, keep speaking, keep working through, keep moving. Keep honoring your ancestors, yourself. Is look to the figures, that were positive influences in your life, and carry on that legacy with them, and that star energy is what this is saying. I feel like you have ancestors before you, you know what I mean, that dealt with some of the same issues in their time. It's the way that they lived, and some of the things that they dealt with, and in you, they are going to make sure, especially in this time, things that they were not able to carry out, that you at least get a taste of, you get a piece of, you get a rightful walkthrough, you know what I mean? You get a seat at the table, or you have the ability to create your own table. You're on the guest list, you know what I mean? You're in the VIP, right? You got reservations, you know what I mean? You're on the front row, you know what I mean? Like, type energy, you first class, you private jet. You know what I mean? Come on. You in the box seats. You got a private box up there. It's type energy is what this is all pulling out. And people know, if they really leave you alone, if they really leave you to your talents, if they really leave you to your will, you're going to be a motherfucking problem. 10 of Cups. And that, my friend, is that's how you attract a village. That's how you lead a village. That's, a lot of y'all were put on this earth, to do that. And in that, sometimes people do need to watch you from a distance so that they can actually see what they need to see, and not put their, like I said, their unnecessary or unwarranted opinions. Some people may say you push them away, Aries. I feel like it's the opposite, because you still be having people that say all of these things about you, and they still tend to cling to you. You know what I mean? The devil, can't make this up. Capricorn energy. Could be a Capricorn here. Like I said, a lot of Capricorn energy. But somebody is feeling and knowing now. They learned a spiritual lesson, like the title says. They should have stayed where they were at. They should have never messed with you. And most importantly, they should have left you alone with this devil and this hermit. So not only maybe do you get a lesson out of this, Aries, but so does you get a lesson. You get a lesson. You get a lesson. You get a lesson when you're all said and done here with this hanged man energy. Okay. Like I say with the Aries, man, y'all be on some, everybody's about to feel this. Okay. When I get done, we all finna feel this. Okay. This is one of them moments, all right? With you, Aries, this is like a moment where you like, we might as well join hands right now. Y'all about to feel this. It's about to feel so real. You know what I mean? And that's just how you are. And people find that out. And like I said, they should have left you alone, Aries. They should have left you alone. They should have never messed with you. I mean, because the moment you decide that you want to turn into this devilish energy, this Seven of Swords, you know what I mean? This Four of Pentacles, this moon energy, this be deceptive, you know, open-ended questions, just leave the mind to wonder, and instead of clarifying things, you know, it's just like all of those types of things that people do to you. It's unnecessary behavior. And why would you want to complicate my day like that? As if it's not already complicated enough. You know what I mean? 5 on the clock, for most, you know, and it's so silly. You know, as we all come into this world, you know, we all are made up of the same thing, you know, maybe just different on the outside, but literally we all walking around here the same thing. But at the same time, there's so many differences and so much diversity, and not just, I don't mean to say diversity, but it's just so much separation still. And even though you are someone that separates yourself, you are very much so still connected to all, or have the ability to be able to connect to all. And that is something that I absolutely admire about you, Aries. And people that may not see you as someone as characteristic as you are, with the Five of Wands coming out, Leo energy, you know, I said, as people may feel and have opinions. You know, it's just like you and a friend, when y'all go out and you are introduced, or you're out in a crowd, neither one of you know the crowd. It's just random people. You are the one people are gravitating towards more, even though, you know, this may be somebody that may look at you strange or look at you as the weirdo, and more so as them as, you know, more outgoing, or people would gravitate, you know, or be more attracted to. I feel like, you know, however they see you in their head, you know, they get their feelings hurt when y'all go out in public and in real life, you know. And that's another thing, you know, stop comparing yourself to me. Aries, I feel like you really just be wanting to let people know, like, bro, just, I get it, but, you know, you gonna get your feelings hurt every time if you're not careful. And Aries, you know, if whatever it is, especially if somebody is, you know, that insecure, you know, and by the thought of you looking a certain way, or, you know, having a certain way, you know, that's none of your business. That's all theirs. You know what I mean? That's something they need to go deal with, because that moon energy could be someone as well that should have just left you alone, knowing that they insecure, knowing, you know, or really they didn't see you. They saw you from a distance, but when they really got up close, boom, you know, that's when they couldn't, they knew that they were not, there was not a comparison. Should have just left you alone. Two of Wands, Aries energy. They should have just left you alone. And like I said, with the Two of Wands energy, this is somebody that's ready. You lighten your torches. All right. Your path is open. Your way is lit. And you're headed. This is the energy where now that you done got everything you need, and once you get everything pushed out of your way over to the side, I'll get back to it, when it's time here. The only thing I need to focus on is what's next in me conquering this world and where this light is going. Where this light is going to settle and illuminate in your life. And in that, people are going to understand why they should have never messed with you, and damn sure why they should have left you alone, Aries. Look at these 3 cards that you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, all in a row. The Ace of Wands, Aries energy. The World, Saturn energy. The Tower, okay, Aries energy. And the Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarius energy. Boom, bam, wham, thank you, ma'am. Like, this is a double, triple whammy, Aries. Heavy is the crown that wears it. So I hope you pick the right size. That's it, y'all. 41:14 on the clock. I'm going to leave this reading here. Hit that like and subscribe button so that we can get these messages out here for anybody that needs to hear it. Thank you guys for joining me, and I love you as usual. You rock. Thank you for being a part of this collective. Ciao.